Strayhorn here on this Wednesday, the 11th of August. Would you believe? Okay. At any rate, thank you for joining us, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. It is designed to raise your awareness, numerically, metaphysically speaking, about the way we do things. And we always, like, have fun. I am still, as you can tell, kind of new. I'm getting a little bit more relaxed. Maybe after a couple of weeks, I'll be smooth sailing. But right now, this is what it is for me. But at any rate, one of the things I do is always like to give the cosmic forecast for today. Well, as the sun is still in the sign of Leo, it's going to change in a couple of weeks. The moon went into Libra at 4:08 this afternoon, which means those who are interested in astrology, because don't forget, you're more than just a sun sign. You have a moon sign. You have an ascendant or rising sign. These are various factors, which is why every Leo isn't the same, every Aries, every Gemini, every you name it, because it all depends on where your moon is. And then when you think and put all the combinations of signs together based upon the moon positions, ascendant positions, you can see it's quite a bit, which is why you need to go to a professional astrologer, if possible, to get and find out where you do. Now, I tell you, though, although right now on Google, you can do that. Punch in your birthday. If you know your time, it'll give you your ascendant. But basically, there is no substitute for going to a professional astrologer. And so on Friday at 8:01 p.m., it goes into the fixed sign of Scorpio, okay? And so what it means, it'll be that way from Friday until Sunday night, where at 11:12 p.m., it will enter Sagittarius. So when our next show is presented, it will be, the moon will be in Sagittarius. But right now, it just went into Libra. On Friday, it's going into Scorpio. On Sunday, it's going into Sagittarius. So you see about every 2 days and change in hours, it shifts signs, which is why it is very important that you know your information, that you bring all the much accurate information to an astrologer as much as possible. They said like, share, subscribe if you like this. Please share with people, let them know if they're interested. And this is good. Now, we always have a question, and people have come up with a question, and one of the questions is, why is Friday the 13th considered unlucky? And in fact, as you know, today's the 11th. So Thursday, then Friday will be the 13th of the month, falling on a Friday. And in fact, this entire year of 2021, this is the only Friday the 13th. Now, normally there are about 2, maybe 3 on a good day. In rare instances, sometimes 4, but rarely is there number 1. So this August is Friday the 13th. And let me tell you how you can always tell. Whenever the first day of the month starts, if it falls on a Sunday, like this did, August fell on Sunday the 1st. That means that a week and a half later or 2, it will be Friday the 13th. That's always the clue. So anytime you're seeing, look at your calendar, you see the number 1 is falling on a Sunday, you know that a week and a half after that, it is the 13th. Now, there's a couple of things too. When I meet most people born on the 13th, ironically, they don't feel they are unlucky at all. In fact, they feel just the opposite, okay? And what happens is, when I talk to people, and I explain to them, because what happens is each number has dominion over a day, just as there are numbers in their harmony, there are numbers in disharmony too. Well, on the harmony side, or I should say disharmony, the number 4 and the number 6 are numbers that are they just bump heads. So what happens is each day is ruled by a number. So since Friday rules the number 6, and there happened to 13 or 4 falls on that day, thus it is considered Friday the 13th. But to me, it's not only Friday the 13th, it's Friday the 4th, Friday the 13th, Friday the 22nd, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, on November the 22nd of 1963. Okay, that was a 4 falling on a Friday, or Friday the 31st. For those who are into the fear of the 13 or Friday the 13th, this is called technically triskaidekaphobia. Triskaidekaphobia, about 6 syllables, whatever. But it simply means having a fear of it. But again, most people I meet born on the 13th never have felt unlucky, okay? What happens is, if you look at the 13th card in the tarot, it was in the days when they spoke in terms of picture symbols, not so much words, but images. You know how they said a picture is 1,000 words? Well, that was the whole point of doing this. So what happens is when you look at the 13th card, first of all, the title on the 13th card was called the Death card. So right there it was like, whoa, stay back. In fact, when I was in China, the unlucky number for China is the 4. Their lucky numbers are the 8 and the 6. So I met a person there who put 4s all over their bicycle or their motor scooter, and it was never stolen, okay? Because whoever this person was, they understood the culture of this particular, of China, and understood that 4 is an unlucky number. However, 4 is a lucky number here. Now, what do I mean? Well, first of all, let me just back up a second. So, in the tarot deck, the 13th card is called the Death card. It's a picture symbol of a skeleton. That don't help it either. With a long curving blade, okay, which didn't help it either too, cutting off the heads of men and women. And it meant those who understand the 13 is given power and dominion. Those who misuse the 13 wreaks havoc and destruction. And so to take, for example, how here in the West, in the United States, this nation believed in the 4. First of all, it was established on the 4th of July of 1776. But when they laid the foundation to this nation, they started off with 13 colonies. The 13 colonies was guarded by 13 naval ships. The flag had 13 stars and 13 stripes. The saying "E pluribus unum," 13 letters. The White House, 13 letters. Don't tread on me, 13 letters. In fact, I think one day I might do something about the United States and the 13, about the dollar bill and everything like that. So if you look at the United States, okay, in terms of that, the signer of shall we say, the architect or designer of the Declaration, the author of the Declaration, Thomas Jefferson, was born not only in the 4th month, but on the 13th day. It was signed at 1300 Locust Street in Philadelphia. I kid you not. So you don't have to take my word for it. Please do your research. That's the whole thing. And, and just see what I see. There were 13 signers of that declaration too, by the way. Then if you break it down in a other way, since 1 + 3 is 4, if you look at Washington, D.C. is divided into 4 quadrants: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. Then if you look at the area code to Washington, D.C., it's area code 202. Well, that's a 4. If you look at the area code, the zip code to Washington, D.C. is 20002, which adds up to a 4. Isn't the president of the United States elected every 4 years? Okay. So, I mean, I don't want to beat around, but I'm just telling you how some nations will find certain numbers friendly to them or lucky for them. And then certain nations, such as when I was in China, they did not like the number 4 at all. And in fact, I found out that when you said the 4 in Chinese, that sounds like the word death. So maybe that was a part of it. At least that's what I was told. So just to give you a little footnote, it's interesting. So on Friday the 13th, they find that's a high absenteeism. So most people are home doing their work at home. But normally on a normal day, on Friday the 13th, this is when people all of a sudden start coughing, not feeling well, don't show up for work. Most buildings that you go into, even modern buildings, don't have a 13. They will skip. They will say 12, 14, or 1212A. Now, there is a building here in Harlem called the Harlem State Office Building at 163 West 136th Street. It has a 13th floor, but it doesn't have a 10th floor, which I thought was interesting. So you go to the Harlem State Office Building, press the button, you see 13 there just as nice, but you don't see a 10th floor. And there is a reason for that. Maybe one day I'll explain it. But anyway, that is it. So for those who understand the 13, it is not unlucky, but more lucky. The fact that each number is ruled by a day, okay? And since Friday is ruled by the 6, and 4s and 6s are oppositional numbers, which is Venus, Uranus, oppositional numbers. This is a little astrology I'm talking now. You can see why these are, it's not only that, again, so if you reverse it, 4 rules Sunday. So if it's Sunday the 6th, Sunday the 15th, Sunday the 24th, that would be a stress day also. So for example, when George H.W. Bush, born on January the 6th, when he first became the president, it was Super Bowl Sunday. It was on Sunday, January 31st. 3 plus 1 is 4. It was on that day that he was eating popcorn or something like that and choked and passed out. But in passing out, he bumped his head and it dislodged the food. And that was the thing that saved it. Other than that, we may have had one of the shortest presidents in the United States, other than William Henry Harrison, born on the 9th of April. Okay, no, excuse me, the 9th of February. He was an Aquarius. Okay, but anyway, so that's a little trivia about triskaidekapobia, Friday the 13th, about the whole symbol of it tarot-wise. This is why I want to have a tarot reader on, such as Avena. I've come across another tarot reader named Sister Taiwo. So there's more than enough room to share for everybody. And in your respective area or region or state or city, if you know somebody who you feel is good at this, on, let me see, on, I already got it, on Monday, June the 23rd, that's when I'm going to have my first guest. He is Brother Francis Rebels Bay. He and I go way, way back. I ain't going to say how far back, but far back enough that, you know, we have a history. He's going to be my first guest. I don't even think he knows it yet, because I made a decision. When am I going to start my guest? And I'm going to start on Monday, August the 23rd. And in fact, the moon will be in Pisces at that time. And believe it or not, my first guest is a Piscean born March the 16th. Okay. So anyway, that's it. So now one of the things I wanted to do was do Numbers in Their Rulership Part 2. Okay. And tell you how it works. And let me see. Okay, let's see now. I'll get all this together. Okay, I see I have some guests, some people in the chat line. Okay, one person said their grandfather was, whoa, okay. Here we go. Can I put that up? Yeah. This person said their grandfather was born on August the 13th. Now, what makes this interesting, this is the same day as Fidel Castro, the same day as Rex Humbard, the same day as Alfred Hitchcock. But, you know, and he was born in 1912, so that was a back in the day moment. But I bet you he probably did not feel unlucky. Either people born on the 13th say that to psych themselves, but there have been some instances of people born on the 13th where it didn't work at all. So one day maybe we'll talk about the 13 in more details, how some are blessed and then some have really been cursed with the fatalistic side of the 13. But that's it. But that tells me, Dawn, that your grandfather was a fire sign with an air number. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this again. Okay, let me see. Okay, we're going to get into Francis Rebel Bay. Yeah, and in fact, Brother Francis Rebel Bay just tuned in. He's written a couple of books. Okay, does his picture show? I don't know. All this is, I'll get the hang of this a little later. But anyway, that's going to be my first guest. There he is right there, Francis F. Rebel Bay. That brother is bad, okay? Trust me, we've been doing this more than the New York Minute, that's for sure. And he's going to come on. And he's so spiritual. He's very, very humble, but he's very, very knowledgeable. So what I'm saying is you'll need to just get out your pen and pads. And I have a way of doing it because that's my way. He has a way of doing it that's like amazing to me. So you'll get a chance to see on Monday, August the 23rd, exactly what he does, how he does it. He's written a couple of books. All of my guests, I want you to support. I don't care who. I'm going to have a whole slew of guests. Please support them, get readings, buy their products and books. I'm going to have my brother King Simon on. I'm going to have Jackie Levine. I'm going to have Brandon Smith. I'm going to have Kaya French. I'm going to have Kalia Washington. And then I'd like to have Hood Mystic, maybe Dominic 369. I want to kind of have a wide range so you can see. And then I'm going to have the Crystal Lady. Then I'm going to have the Tarot Ladies. So anyone who can raise our consciousness through the metaphysical channel, a metaphysical awareness, they will be on the show. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back. Okay. But anyway, let me talk about the rulerships a second before I get to other people. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, good. All right, everybody. I am back, believe it or not. Let me tell you, the one thing about when you're doing things live, as I did, and you're going to have to forgive me, believe it or not, I failed to. Okay, they said they were having trouble with the streaming. Okay, view on Periscope. Okay, good. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay. Anyway, folks, anyway, I am back. I don't know how this is going to work. If not, I will repeat this on Monday. This is very interesting. Well, I learned something. In other words, for those, I do apologize. What happened? I went off the air because I forgot to charge the phone. All righty. But anybody who's listening and joining us, please feel free. I am live with Lloyd on this 11th day of August of 2021. And I blew this big time, but you know what? For those that are joining me, thank you very much. Let's see. Okay. Thank you so much, Tito. I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened is I was all excited, all worked up, getting ready to go to the subject of the day, which is Numbers in Their Rulership Part 2. Okay? Except Lloyd Strayhorn didn't make sure that the computer was charged up. All righty? So when it got low, you know, the battery get red, all right, and you ain't paying attention, it said zap, So I apologize, my bad. I might do this in again on again Monday and do it all over again, or do a rehash or review. But anyway, so what happens is those who are joining us, like Denise, thank you. Hi to you, Denise. 28 to 28, no, 828, 273. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Anyway, though, so I'm going to start kind of from the beginning just to be short. The sun is in Leo, the moon is in Libra. We'll go into Scorpio on Friday after 8. And then on Sunday at 12 p.m., it will go into Sagittarius. Alrighty. And so anyway, hey, this is real. One thing about it though, I told y'all beginning, I'm no pro at this, all right? I should have made sure that my computer was charged up. No, I charged up my phone. I did this, I did that. But anyway, I learned, and you believe me or not, this will never ever happen again. But anyway, my topic today, again, is numbers and their rulership part 2. Now, last week, or this past Monday, we were talking about that, but this time I want to go to another side of the rulership, okay? And this you can see here too, because numbers have rulership over so many things, you would be amazed at it, all right? And first of all, when I did the number 1, each number has actually a time where it's best at. And so, for example, the best days for number 1 is always on Sunday and Tuesday, followed by the months of February, April, and August. And the number 1 is strongest during the day. Have you ever wondered why maybe you're strong at certain times, like night, and then, some people are strongest during the day, and yet they're not strong during the day, and vice versa during the night? Well, each number has a time that they tend to be at their best. I'll put it like that. So the number is strongest during the day. To the pro side of it, the number 1 is daring, commanding, original, intuitive. On the not so good side, they can be bossy, selfish, egotistical, and domineering. As for the number 2, their best times of the year is always on Mondays and Fridays. And when I say best times, each number has a day assigned to them. So let's say you got hold on, let me do this a second. Let me do this 1 second. So let's say, for example, okay, let me do this. So let's say, for example, you have a certain number. Well, each number, birth number from 1 to 9, has a day. Well, a person said, well, I'm born on the 27th. Well, 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay, that's it. But the point is, whether you're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, you have a day that is assigned to you in the week. The number 9, ruled by Mars, is assigned to Tuesday. Okay? So therefore, if you have to make any moves and you're a number 9 person, more than likely Tuesday is always the best day in which to do so. All righty? So let's go on to continue with this. So then with the number 3, okay? Oh, excuse me. Mondays and Fridays are the best days, and March and July and October are their best months. And 2 is strongest at night, excuse me. On the good side, they're easygoing, mild-mannered, agreeable, considerate. On the not so good side, they can be petty, they can be super sensitive, they can be insincere, and they can be cruel. Now, people will say, Lloyd, number 2s? Well, I'll give you 3 examples of dictators that were 2s. Mussolini, the Italian dictator, was born on a 2, a Leo 2 person. Then you had Adolf Hitler, a Taurus Aries 2, because he was born April 20th, a dictator in Germany. And then you had Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines, who was born on a 2. So it shows you, although 2 is known to be for public favorites, it rules gentleness and sensitivities to the extreme. This is what it produces, cruelty too, okay? The number 3, times of the year, Thursdays, Fridays. The best months are March, May, October, and December. And the 3 is strongest both day and night. It's one of the few numbers, well, listen, daytime, nighttime, this is how I roll, I'm good, okay? On the pro side, they're very expressive, ambitious. they're popular, they're confident. But on the negative side, they can be very dictatorial. So I'll put it like this. If you're working with a 3-person, their attitude is, listen, you do your job, I do my job. But if I got to do my job and your job, we're going to have some problems up in this piece, okay? So that's why the dictatorial thing come from. They can be vain, they can be wasteful, and they can be self-indulgent. Whatever they love to the max. Number 4, well, their time of the year is always on Sundays and Mondays, followed by February, June, and August. And the reason why I put this here, yes, you can hear me, you can see my hands back and forth, but the point is, I'm kind of visual, I'll hear the words, but my style is visual. So for those that may have somewhat a learning skill like mine, where you got to see it, and then you got it, I got it. Well, this is it. So they're followed by February, June, and August. 4 is strongest at odd hours of the day, we least expect it. And to the positive side, they're more diligent, they're more methodical, they're steady, they're unconventional, because that's part of it. They like to be different. But on the downside, they can be moody and rigid and revengeful and melancholy. So the rule is, don't cross a 4-person. They may forgive you, but we ain't gonna forget, okay? That's how they roll. Number 5, their best times of the year is always on Wednesdays and Fridays, especially during the months of May, June, September, and October. 5 is strongest both day and night, like the number 3. To the positive, they're clever and adaptable and energetic and spontaneous, among others. And I only picked just snippets from my book to give some of the pros and the cons. To the con side, they can be excessive, they can be irritable, they can be careless, and yes, they can be vulgar. They know how to speak to, listen, a number 5 person, okay, they could be taking their mother to church, somebody cut them off, they'll roll down their window and give them a piece of their mind. Now, not all number 5 people are vulgar, but I'm saying that y'all know how to go there if they don't understand the King's English, all right? Number 6, okay? Their times of the year is always on Fridays and Thursdays, followed by the months of March, May, October, and December. The 6 is strongest during the day. On the best side, they can be very dependable and charming and loyal and responsible. But on the negative, they can be very judgmental, very suspicious, jealous, dogmatic, and stubborn. Not all 6s. I know you're not. None of these things I described, okay? Number 7, their best times of the year is always on Mondays and Sundays, followed by February, March, July, and August. And the 7 is strongest during the nighttime. On the positive, they're very knowledgeable, intuitive, perfectionist, independent. To the negative side, they can be very sarcastic, fault-finding, no depth, and cunning. Now, to a 8, their best times of the day is always on Saturdays and Fridays, followed by January, February, May, July, and August, okay? Their strongest time is during the night. That's when they're at their strongest. And they're known to be powerful, authoritative, successful, conservative, and competent. But to the negative, they can be greedy and oppressive, and power hungry is also fatalistic too. And finally, for the number 9, their best times of the day is always on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Each number is assigned a day. Each number is assigned a month. Therefore, March, April, November, and December are their best. And 9 also, like the 8 and the 7, are strongest during the night. To the humanitarian, to the best side, they're your humanitarians, they're your bold, they're courageous, they are also very successful. But then again, they can be something else on the negative side too, such as like very competitive, very dominant, whatever the case is. And so all of this is taken from my book, but I just wanted to give you a snapshot. Actually, I'm thinking about doing maybe a numbers in their rulership part 3, because the numbers rule parts of the body, the numbers rule the health, the numbers rule a whole lot of things. So what I'm saying is, you think that you are influenced by the numbers of your bank account, the numbers on your credit card, things of that nature. I'm here to tell you there is a lot of things that numbers influence you, that you would be. I mean, seriously, if somebody told me, Lloyd, numbers did all of this, I'd have said, yeah, right. But it not only does all of this, but it even does more. It can forecast what your year is going to be like, what the coming months or weeks are going to be like, what the coming days and dates and ages and years of important changes are going to be like. I kid you not. It's almost, for skillful persons, like myself and those around in my circle, it almost appears as if we are psychics. No, we have just learned the fine art of interpreting the nature of the number. Now, it's like an astrologer. Astrologer can learn the basics, the planets, their rulerships, their exaltations, their oppositions, their squares, their conjuncts, all that stuff. But the art comes, the fine line comes in the art of interpretation. So you'll have one astrologer that'll read a chart one way, and then you'll have another one that's more skillful, where they seem like, wow, this person is almost like a psychic. But anyway, let's go to some of the chats and see what we got. Okay, let's see. She says, okay. She says she just came in. Hey, Kenya, hope all is well. How do you know what number you are? Well, there are two. Actually, there's a couple of numbers, but from the birthday, that's normally how most students, beginning students, start off. Okay, and that primary number is taking the month, the day, and the year you were born. When you take the month, the day, and the year you were born, add those three numbers together down to one single digit. That tells you your destiny, your mission, your birth path, your life force. There's a lot of definitions for it. That's why I teach my students, don't get caught up because one says destiny and I say life force. As long as you know what we're talking about, it's called semantics. That's all it is. As long as you know, oh, that means you take the month, the day, and the year you're born, right? Yeah, well, that will tell you what grade, and I call it what grade you're in the school of life, because we're all here to learn a lesson. All of us at some point. Some of us never learn, unfortunately. Some of us do and get it together. But if one had the knowledge of how to do this, it would probably make all the difference in their world, the decisions they make moving forward, and how to time things, okay? But then in addition to the month, the day, and the year, which denotes long-term effects, it is actually the date of birth of the person that represents the immediate effects. So you can have a person born on that month, day, and year. That's fine. But if you want to know what's going on right now, it is actually the date of birth. And what we'll do is we'll take a couple of birthdays to demonstrate that. All righty. So let's see. Hi, Tasha Paul, Charlene Adams, Dawn. Okay, so this is how they do that when they be saying hi, so-and-so. Okay. So anyway, if somebody wants to give me a birthday, or I'll think of any birthday. Okay, really. I think, let me see. I think Kenya. Okay, now Kenya says she's got a birthday coming up very soon on the 16th. Okay, so she didn't give a year, but if she gave the year and added the month and day to that year, that would tell her symbolically what grade she's in the school of life. Is it the first grade where you learn to be independent? Is it the second grade where you learn how to be cooperative? Is it the third grade where you learn how to be expressive and imaginative? If it's the fourth grade where you learn how to create the building blocks? Is it the fifth grade where you learn how to accept change and work with changing conditions? Is it the sixth grade where you learn how to be of service to humanity and the community? Is it grade number 7 where you learn how to be intuitive and knowledgeable and experiencing your expressions over the course of your life? If it's a number 8, does it mean do you know how to handle business affairs, being conservative and pragmatic about going about doing things? And if it's a number 9, are you influential? Do you influence people for good, bad, or other? Or on the negative side, do you think you're the greatest thing since, as I say, ice cream? Okay, so we all have it, but she is a fire sign with a water number. Now that sounds contradictory, but this is the same birthday as Angela Bassett, okay? This is the same birthday that Elvis Presley died on, who was born on January the 8th, because as a Capricorn 8, August is not their best month, okay? It's so interesting. Here in New York, the mayor of Cuomo had to resign, right? Well, if they knew his birthday, which is December the 6th, August, don't forget, remember I told you 4 and 6s don't work that well, which is thus Friday the 13th, because Friday rules the 6th. So it's because the 4 fell on that day of the 6th that caused the clash. Well, Cuomo resigned just yesterday or the day before. Well, August is ruled by the number 4, and he's the number 6. So anybody who's a 6, and ain't just Cuomo, if you're a Taurus, if you're a Libra, if you're born on the 6th, the 14th, and the 15th and the 24th of the month, and you've been feeling a little drama up in here the last week and a half or so, that makes all the sense in the world to me. That's the beauty of what we do. So therefore, we advise you to go to professionals like ourselves and begin to understand and see how things work. So let's get another one. But here's the thing: fiery, passionate, very analytical, very independent with a mind all their own. So let's see. Hi, Patricia McGowan. Okay, we got a. Now here is a person. I'm not sure whether this person was on before. This person is, I think, Shane Lee Freeman. Now here's something very interesting about this birthday. This birthday is a number. Excuse me. This birthday is a number 4 across the board. What do I mean? They're born on the 4th month. They're born on the 22nd day. Excuse me, 2 plus 2 is 4. And they're born on 1984. And 1984 adds up to 22, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So in all their cycles, the formative, which is the early part of 4, the productive cycle, which is the middle part there, that's when they get real busy mapping out their career, their choices, also selecting their mates and whatnot. And then the year, how they live their last days. Everything is a 4. So this person, Shane Lee Freeman, has normally been consistent throughout her life. And here's what I mean. Wherever she was born at, she either lives in the same area or near the same area. She will find that there will be a constant, she will mature. Yes, some buildings may go up, some buildings may come down, but basically she'll be around in the same area that she probably grew up as a child. Born under the master number 22, and I am going to dedicate a segment to the master numbers because they're very unique, they're very special. And in fact, on my online course, Learn from Lloyd, the next step in numerology, I deal with the master numbers, not only 11 and 22, but 33, 44, 55, up to 99. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, if you want to learn all of that, just sign up for the course. Just go to my online course. I'll go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn, sign up for its immediate course, which is Learn from Lloyd, the next step. But the beginner's course, Learn from Lloyd, how to read a person like a book, I would recommend for everybody to get started, even some of the people who have some knowledge of it. Okay, so that's it. But now let me say this. So when I do her birthday for a 12, that means her destiny number is a 3. That means this young lady is in the 3rd grade in the school of life. And in other words, I took the month she was born, the day she was born, added it to the year she's born, and it added up to a 3. Now, there's shortcut ways that people do this. Want to say, okay, April is a 4th month, the 22 is a 4, and 1984 adds up to 22, which is a 4, so they'll say 4, 8, 12. That's a shortcut, okay? Then you have another person say 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 4. That will add up to whatever it's going to add up to, okay? However, the proper way to find out whether you really have a destiny, this is very obvious because this person is born under a master 22. But the proper way is you put the month at the top, then the date of birth you put underneath that, and then underneath that you put the year, you draw your lines, add your columns down, then add the numbers across. So oftentimes I'll hear a person, well, I'm a master number 11. But when I do it the proper way, there are 2, okay? Or I'm a master number 22. When I do it the proper way, they're just a 4. So if you want to get the proper way, this is the way to do it. The month at the top, the date underneath, then the year underneath that, draw your line, add your columns down, add it across, and you got it, okay? And by the way, I do have an online, I have a numerology group on Facebook called Learn from Lloyd Numerology Group, so you can sign up. Okay, here's another person who chimed in, Miss Drea Waters. Now, she is a Libra. I have good news for you, my sister, okay? You will be my new best friend for next year. And here's why. I'm sure she says, why is that, Mr. Strayhorn? Well, let me tell you why. One of the reasons is she is a Libra. So she's an air sign with an earth number. So that means she uses her logic, but she uses her common sense too, okay? So she can have fun and party all day, but at the end of the day, she keeps it real. But if you look at 2022, Those 4 digits adds up to a 6. Well, she's born on the 6th. Cha-ching. Not only that, but 6 rules the sign of Libra and Taurus. So if you got a person born April 24th, May 6th, May 15th, or September 24th, or October 6th, October 15th, you three, hey, a lot of people going to be sweating y'all next year because the sun will be at your back. The wind will be at your back. You will find that everything will begin to flow. And especially when you do it on Friday. Why? Because Friday rules the number 6, which I gave from the rulership that governs, because each number governs a part of the year, a part of the day, and things like that. So the number 6 governs Friday. Its backup day is Thursday. It also governs the months of May and October, whereas backup months of March and December. Okay? So once you know that, these are your power cycles. So they should do very, very well. It is the personal year and how that's going to wind up that's going to tell. So, for example, Deidre is going to have to work. Miss Drea is going to have to work a little hard because she's going to be in a 4 personal year. How I did it was simple. I took the month she's born, added to the day she's born, added to the year I want to know about, and that adds up to 13-4. So 4 is one of those numbers where you got to put some effort into it. You got to put a little skin in the game. So what you put in is what you get back. So if you got people that's wanting to just sit around and kick their legs up and everything is cool, that's not quite how it's going to work. But if she makes the effort, there will be some compensation before this same time next year. And by the way, again, it leads to a question that somebody asked me before. When does the new year begin? Whether it's 2021, 2022, the year 2013, which would be the year of the 7, by the way. I mean, 3013. That means 3013. So even though that's nowhere near here, and none of us are going to be around either, okay? Maybe our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, but by the time they get to 3013, I know that that will be a 7 universal year. All you got to do is just add the numbers. That's the beauty of it. I can go back to 356 BC, okay, way back there, okay, and we wasn't even there. Well, when you add it up, it adds up to 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So in 356 BC, it was in a 5 universal year. In the year 3013, it's going to be the year of the 7. So whether you go back in the past or the present, 2021, or in the future, you know how to do this. That's the beauty. This is what got me hooked on this thing. I said, oh man, this thing is too easy. But let me tell you, this will fool you, okay? So you're not just a zodiac sign, but you're composed of many parts. A sun sign, a moon sign, an ascendant, where your Venus is, where your Mars is. So for example, if an astrologer wanted to look to see what kind of man a woman would attract, he would look at her Mars position. Conversely, if he wanted to see what kind of woman a man would attract or be influenced by, he would look at his Venus. So this is why you go to professional astrologers. And this is why you come to people like myself and King Simon and other people that's going to be guests up the road. All of the people I named are Lorenzo in Atlanta, Matthew Walker, he's up there in Massachusetts. I'm going to have that brother on. Then I'm going to have Chanel. She's out. Chanel Phillips, she's out in Chicago. So I'm going to have a cross section. And what they're going to be doing is in the interviews explaining what they've mastered. Because we all have a point of interest, okay? But in what field do you have an interest? There are so many astrology books that it's just amazing, so you never run out. So we're going to have all these guests talking about all these things over the months, weeks and months ahead, all righty? So that's it. Her numbers, by the way, are the 6, 3, and 9, and Fridays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are her best days, and she reads to people like a book. That's how I got the title. The number one thing about number 6, they know how to read people very well. She may, let's say, that's my date, right? She said, "May Lloyd, don't give so-and-so your money, okay? I go give so-and-so my money because I don't think she know what she's talking about." Well, number 6 people normally say, "You see, I told you so." And then all of a sudden we get a little attitude. "Oh man, so-and-so." But don't, that is the nature of a 6. So if you're dealing with a 6 woman like this sister here, y'all better be ready, okay? Now, Charlene Adams, my girl, all right, out of Virginia. Now, Charlene is a Libra, okay? Now, notice, 10-10, she's born in 64, which adds up to a 10, although it's 1964. But notice how her month and day are the same. She's born in the 10th month on the 10th day, except where Miss Drea was a air sign with a earth number, Charlene Adams is a air sign with a fire number. So these are elements that are very compatible. And normally that means that in her case, she is self-reliant, independent. She don't have to wait on people to motivate her. Her thing is, girl, you get your act together. You get your butt up out this bed and do something. Now, we all have pity parties. I ain't gonna front. I know very few people that don't have their moments. I'll call it like that. And if you don't want to call it a pity party, well, we have our moments where we're just in a funk. Okay, welcome to being human. Okay, and none of us are computers up in here, not yet, although they're trying to replace a lot of us with computers. But basically, we will all have our moments. And when we do, there are times, but in this case, she rarely has moments in the sense that she doesn't like to just sit around and do nothing. She would be very proactive. Number one, whether in the birthday or in the name, tells what they want. So a lot of guys, I noticed with number one ladies born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month, like Charlene, right? The guy will be involved with her. Then all of a sudden, he gets this epiphany, right? And he says, you know, man, you too bossy. Or you dominant. You're always trying to tell me what to do. Well, if they know the nature of a number one, which is to lead, to give direction, then they shouldn't be surprised. And the way I put it to them is that number one, people know what they want, male or female, and they're going to speak on it. So a number one guy knowing what he wants, he's being a man. But if a number one sister like Charlene wants something, oh, she's trying to tell me what to do. So it's all perspective, gentlemen. But to thine own self be true. And I will say this, Charlene has to be as true to herself as we guys want to be true to ourselves. You can't have it both ways. I mean, you could, but it's not going to work so much. Okay, let's see who we got here. This is a lot of fun. Okay, for me. Anyway, we got Sue Ann Henderson Murphy, born on June the 8th, 1960. Okay, so if I look at her destiny, that's 7, let me see, 7, 15, 20. She has a number 3 destiny. In other words, if Susan takes the month she's born, underneath, put the day she's born, underneath, put the year she's born, draw her lines, add her columns down, add across it, add up to a 3. So what that means is that she would be, in other words, she would be in a 3rd grade in the school of life. And 3 women are more career-oriented than domestic-oriented. So let's say somebody met Suzanne and said, listen, Suzanne, you're going to be Mrs. Strayhorn, okay? And I got some new rules for you up in this piece, okay? I'm going to, I want you home at 5. I want you off at 5. I want you home at 5:30. Then I've been at 6. Well, my thing is, that might work for about a week or 2. But 3 people, women especially, even more so men, are your workaholics in the number group. They will have 2 jobs, 2.5 jobs, 3 jobs. They'll do whatever it takes to hold it down, okay? And this is why I've noticed in my experience with 3 women with 3 destinies or 3 birthdays, they have a nice home, a nice car, a nice job. But in the love department, it leaves a lot to be desired because they're working all the time. They're not always going to the clubs, or they're not always going to social events where they can interact with the opposite sex, okay? So these are little things that I noticed. But she is an air sign with an earth number, which means she's very logical but pragmatic. And by the way, her lucky numbers are the 8, the 6, and the 5. Now, when I say that, and I teach my students, this is how they build. I don't know who's trying to call me. This is how they build. This is how we, that I teach, those that take the class, now you learn how to build a foundation. Here's what I mean. Once I'm able to establish her numbers, which is the 8, 6, and 3, I know that her best days are always on Saturday first, Friday, then Wednesday. I then can tell her that her best dates would be the 6th, the 5th, the 6th, the 8th, the 14th, the 15th, the 17th, the 23rd, 24th, 26th. Why? Because all those dates add up to a single digit of a 5 or a 6 or an 8. I can then tell her, too, that the months that are very important to her would always be in January, May, June, September, and October. She will probably agree when she bought that house, when she married, when she birthed that child, when she conceived that child, when she married or got engaged or bought a car. I mean, this doesn't stop. I do this all the time. I'm telling you from experience. Don't take my word for it. Get into this. Dip your big toe into this and see if you don't catch on to this too. And it never fails. And I've been doing this a very, very long time. And so what it does is it helps a person be in the right place. And I can even tell her that at ages 5, 6, 8 years old was important. Then ages 14, 15, and 17 years old, that was important. Then ages 23, 24, 26, then 32, 33, 35, then 41, 42, 44. Okay? What I'm saying is if you notice, all those ages keep adding up to either a 5 or a 6 or an 8. Then you can take the years too. And I'll start back in the 80s. I could say that the year of 1985, 1886, 1888 was important. Then it was 1994, 1995, 1997. Then it was also the year of 2003, 2004, 2006. All these years I just named had one thing in common. They either added up to the single digit of a 5 or a 6 or an 8. And this is how I do it. This is how I teach my students. And this stuff is accurate. So therefore, we can project. I don't say we predict. I say forecast. That's less intimidating, okay? You know, the forecast says it's going to rain today. Maybe it might rain, maybe it might not rain, but there's a high probability that it may rain based upon the forecast. So that's why I do the cosmic forecast, telling you where the sun is in Leo, where the moon is right now in Libra, and where it's going to be in Scorpio on Wednesday, and where it's going to be in Sagittarius on Sunday. And this is how it works. So once you get this, you will be very surprised. Okay, thank you. And this is how we do that. So let's take another person and go to the people such as, okay, let's go to this person here. And I'm not trying not to leave anybody out because there's so many people. Now, this person is born on the same day as Melba Moore, October the 29th. And this person is a water sign with a water number. They're Scorpio. Okay, that rules by the element of water. Because don't forget, we were just last week, we did a segment on elements. So Scorpio is ruled by the element of water, along with Pisces, along with Cancer. Then the 2, because she's born on the 29th, 2 plus 9 is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. Well, 2 is also ruled by the element of water. So since she's a water sign with a water number, it tells me she's super sensitive. Overly sensitive to a degree if she doesn't understand. But I would also say deeply intuitive. Don't play this sister. Don't take her sweetness for weakness or her kindness for granted. That would be a very bad mistake. She knows but don't know how she knows. But if she trusts herself, she will find out that 9 times out of 10, when she get a hunch or feeling or an inkling about something, almost always on a scale of 1 to 10 is hovering 9, if not 10. So this is the kind of person, and I joke and I definitely say, since 2s are so sensitive, they need a hug twice a day, physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. Like, you know, Ken, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what we'd have done today. Ken wouldn't mind putting in extra work. Since Ken is a male, here's one thing. Since Scorpio is a feminine sign and 2 is a feminine number, it tells me Ken works around a lot of women. He's probably got more daughters than boys if he has children, okay? His boss is probably a female supervisor, or he has female associates, or he may have a company with most of them being females. And so in one way, so this stuff is fascinating. So I encourage every one of you who is listening, by the way, please like, share, subscribe. Okay, if you do, please do if you want to. Please to share the knowledge, okay? I'm not concerned about the numbers, the quantity, as so much as the quality. That's what I'm about. I'd rather have 10 of you that's rock solid than 10,000. I guess that does sound good. There's, you know, they say 10,000, but what does it mean? You know what I'm saying? I guess for revenue or whatever the case is, advertisers, that's good. That'll come in its own time. I'm concerned about you knowing things so you know yourself better, so you stop looking in somebody else's backyard about what you're trying to do and look in your own darn backyard, okay? To see what you are about, what you come on this planet to do. Because you cannot tell me you're not as special as Jay-Z. Okay, so you don't have Jay-Z's money. All right, so what? Okay? You're not as famous as, let's say, Will Smith. Okay, you don't have his fame, his money. But you are just as important under the eyes of the Most High. in the law, under the laws of God, you cannot tell me you're not as important. It's just how you think about yourself. And that's a part of what I like to do. So one time I was criticized. I said, Lloyd, every time you call, it's always positive. That's because we're always knocking each other. It's like, tell me something else I don't know. Well, Lloyd, you full of so-and-so. And man, you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. Y'all done heard all of that. Tell me something else I don't know. Why don't we stop being a crab in the barrel with each other and lift each other up by way of our spirit, our abilities, our skills, our talents, and encourage us, because we're the greatest people on the planet. Can't nobody tell me different. Our history proves it. Our culture proves it. Our music, our language, our religion, our science, everything proves we're the greatest people on the planet. And if you don't understand that, you're going to have some serious problems up in here. That's all I'm saying. But back to the numbers, okay? So this person is a water sign with a water number, which means very sensitive, okay? And what it tells me too, psychologically, women are his blessing and his curse too, but that's another story for another time. All right, so let's go to somebody else. All right, let's go to this person here. I'm going to try to get as many people as I can because I took us off the air. Okay, good. Tyler Hollingshead, okay. Tyler is a Leo 7 person. He's born the same day as one of my favorite idols, Marcus Messiah Garvey, born in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica in the 1800s, okay? Anyway, this person, although young biologically in that sense, is old spiritually. There are certain numbers that are very mature. 8 is one of them. Not only is this person born in the 8th month, covering his formative years, which means he already grew up old. And in fact, if you read the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey and what he wrote, he said that when he was a child, he was managing adult men at his father's and grandfather's age in the fields. He was managing, but that makes sense to me because 8 is a maturity number. 8 is a business number. 8 is an executive number. John D. Rockefeller was born on the 17th, the founder of the Rockefeller dynasty, a boxer who, in fact, boxers were getting paid next to nothing until Muhammad Ali came on the scene, born on the 17th. Michael Jordan, how long he been out of basketball, okay? They still sell his Michael Jordan retros. Well, he's born on the 17th. I can name tons. 17, by the way, indicates it is called the 8-pointed star of Venus in the tarot. This is why I'm going to have some tarot readers on, okay? But not only that, the 17 denotes the number of immortality and the power of financial success. So Taylor, if you play your cards right, I expect to get your autograph one day. I expect to be one day sitting back, watching TV, minding my business, say, like, yo, I know this cat. Okay, we had conversations on here, though we didn't have conversations. You know how all of a sudden when you get famous, everybody knows you said you was in diapers. But that's how we do, okay? That's how we roll in our communities, okay? So this is it. His numbers are the 8, 1, and 4, okay? I get a little excited, Tyler, but I know you like older girls. They'll probably introduce you to Sex 101 too, which is also none of my business, okay? What do I know? Anyway, let's see if we can get somebody else. Let's get Gia. What is her birthday? Now, Gia is a Capricorn. She's a Capricorn. Now, remember we was talking about the 13th, Friday the 13th. I bet you if I asked Gia, do you feel born on the 13th, you're unlucky, she'd probably say, heck no, okay? Because those who understand the 13 is given power and dominion, which means as long as this sister doesn't misuse her power or misuse her dominion, she will achieve the thing she wants, which is why I said the United States built its currency is built on the 13. You know what I'm saying? One day I'll talk about the dollar bill and the 13 all up in there. The symbols with the eagles, 13 banners, 13 stars, 13 eagles and arrows and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she is a earth sign with an air number, which means not only is she very practical, but at the same time, she's very logical in her reasoning. So that means she steps to the plate. Now, it's interesting. 8, her sign, well, Capricorn and the number 4 tend to have one thing in common. Capricorn tends to be misunderstood. Number 4s tend to be misunderstood. So I would have to say to Gia, if she had to hang a motto over her door, it would be to know Gia is to love Gia. Because at the same time, she's sensitive. Although people think she's cold or distant, she's not. It is that she's governed by the planet of Saturn, which is called the planet of Father Time, the planet of age and wisdom and archaeology and history, among other definitions to it. And then she's ruled by the number 4, which is governed by the planet of Uranus, which is odd and unusual, different, sudden, unexpected, innovative, things of that nature. So that's what I would say. And I would say that with her birthday, she's attracted some odd and unusual relationships too, where her friends probably says, Gia, what's that about? But that's none of my business. Anyway, Gia, your key numbers are the 4, the 1, and the 8. That's it. Okay. Let me see something. It says, brother, you skipped me twice. Okay. Let me see who's this. Okay. How do I send money and what's your Cash App address? Okay. Yeah, my Cash App address is $ numbers in you. Oh, no space, $ numbers in you, and whatever you send, thank you so much. That's not my intention. I forget these things. Lloyd, plug yourself. Lloyd, do this and that. I'm going to get into the habit, but I want to share the knowledge. That's my goal. That's my goal. It's nice if all you can donate. I ain't going front and say to make a donation. Fine, I will accept it in the spirit for which it is given, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is to help you help yourself. My purpose is to show you that each and every one of you, regardless of all these famous people you look at as influencers, God has your influence too, based upon your numbers. It's a matter of understanding what numerical influences influence you. So you can be just as good, and you never know. Okay? So it's $ numbers in you. And thank you, Antonio. Skipped it twice. Send a donation for an analysis. Okay. Antonio, you didn't give me your birthday, though. But then again, I'm kind of new at this. Did you send me your birthday? Okay. Let's see. No, I don't see it yet. If I do, well, let me know. And let me do this is, I think, Felicia. Okay. Yeah, Felicia. Now, this person, whoever she is no joke, okay? She is an air sign. And when I say no joke, it don't mean she's rough or tough. It just simply means you don't play. Don't play the sister. I'm telling you, having knowledge of this, you will know properly how to approach a woman, and a woman will know properly how to approach a man, okay? Because we all have assumptions, but by having this kind of understanding, you can understand. So, for example, she's an air sign with a fire number. That means she's proactive, very logical, assertive, reasoning, action-oriented, and very, very mindset in her conclusions. And so since air and fire blend very well, that tells me she's very proactive about the things, and she herself don't have many pity parties because she's has a lot of get up and go about her. All righty? The one thing I've noticed about 9 women, they tend to attract men in uniform. Police, construction, railroad worker, military officer, security guard, or they themselves may wear a uniform, okay? But this is what I've noticed about number 9, not all 9 women, but more than enough. In other words, I wouldn't be surprised if Felicia wasn't pulled over by a police officer, not to give her a ticket, but to get her phone number. That wouldn't surprise me at all, okay? Or that she might find that police officers and military men and men in uniform are handling tools or machines or mechanics or things of that nature tend to attract her. But I know this, she's feisty. What you see is what you get. And you know how guys say, she really can't stand the truth. Don't do this with Felicia. Be straight up, be real, keep it honest. And sometimes when you keep it honest, sometimes it's misinterpreted. But women say you want it honest. Well, she's one of them. Okay, because women got this notion, well, women really don't want to hear it. I'll paint a little fairy tale story. Don't do that to Felicia. Don't get your feelings hurt. That's all I'll tell you. Don't get your feelings hurt. Her lucky numbers, by the way, are the 9, the 5, and the 6, okay? Again, I've learned how to make this entertaining for that purpose, okay? Antonio got back to me. Let's see what Antonio is. Antonio is a number 3 person. He's born the same day as Eddie Murphy and Marlon Brando and a couple of other people. But what it tells me is that if I look at his month of birth, it tells me that Antonio started out with a rough start, that he had to make the most of what he had. There may have been some struggle. There may have been some sacrifice. You know how some people say, well, man, if it wasn't for you, I carried you. Well, can nobody say that to Antonio, not in the first part of his life. Whatever he did, he had to do it on his own. But he's always been ambitious. He's always wanted to make something of himself as a kid. And the worst thing to tell him is he cannot do it because he will prove you wrong every time. And I would say, if you look at Antonio Ledbetter, more than likely, he has probably succeeded as a result of somebody saying, man, I'll put it like this. Antonio, you're going to wind up being a total failure. When I say that, you don't know. All I did was plant the seeds of success under him. That's all I've done. So when you see a 3 person born on the 3rd of the month, the 12th of the month, the 21st of the month, or the 30th of the month, don't plant those kind of seeds, not let you want success. If you want success, that's exactly what you do. Say, man, you'll never amount to anything. You'll never be nothing about this, because there's something in their DNA, and maybe because it's ruled by the planet Jupiter, the good luck planet, the planet of expansion, the planet of improvement, the planet of prosperity, that they just seem to take it from there and says, you watch what I'm going to do, straight horn. So don't do that. By the way, their lucky numbers are the 3, the 9, and the 6. And here's the thing about Antonio, too, to me. When he started out like an older woman. As he reached this point in the maturity of his life, they now become younger, and from different cultures, too, and even long distance. But that's none of my business, okay, Antonio? But thanks for the donation. Thanks for the love and all those other things, okay? So let's see. I got to be honest. He says he's CEO of his own trucking company. Yes. He was fired for driving a truck 3 months prior. Notice he was terminated, and I'll let you read it yourself, okay? And it doesn't surprise me. You don't do this to 3 people. Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Okay. I missed the thing that he had said that, let me see. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Here we go. See, he says he's the CEO of his own trucking company. He was fired from a driving job 3 months prior. What probably happened, first of all, he's an Aries. Aries don't take stuff from nobody, okay? He's a fire sign with a fire number. That tells you right there how to approach this person, okay? You don't talk to a fire sign with a fire number, male or female, any way you think you want to and think it's going to work. It doesn't fly, all right? And what probably happened is when they fired him, that was the best thing to happen to him, because 3s are very determined, and Aries don't take no stuff from nobody up in here. And so thus he is his CEO. He owns his own trucking company. Kudos to you, my brother. Kudos to you. And this is what I'm talking about when I say people who have these numbers possess that kind of quality. Don't discourage a number 3 person, because all you're doing is setting them up for success rather than failure. That's all you're doing. Okay, that's good. And congratulations, Antonio, on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of truck you drive. You probably drive all over the country, but I know your best days to do it is always on a Sunday, a Thursday first, a Tuesday, and a Friday. Now, this person here, let's see. Now, this person is just the opposite. Where the last caller, Antonio, was a fire sign with a fire number, Deborah McQueen is an earth sign with an earth number. So that means you can't talk no pie in the sky stuff with her. I mean, you can, but she's going to bring you down to earth and says, translation, what does that mean? Keeping it real. This is the point of what these elements do. That's why I'm saying when I first taught, and the way I teach now, even privately, I know you want to get into the signs. I know you want to get into the numbers, but until you understand the elements of the nature assigned to each of the elements in nature, you can then tell, even before you know what a Taurus means, before you know what a number 8 means, basically how this person rolls. So being an earth sign with an earth number, it means they're conservative. They keep it real. They keep it grounded. They use a lot of common sense. They're conservative. You ain't going to find them waste a whole lot of money. They might waste your money, but they ain't going to waste their money, okay? And in fact, the New York Stock Exchange is founded on May the 17th. 1 plus 7 is 8. Remember I told you the power of 17s? Well, the New York Stock Exchange is founded on May 17th under the sign of Taurus. So when the stock market is doing well, don't they say they bullish? Well, what sign rules, what symbol symbolically rules Taurus? The bull. So this woman got great taste, Deborah. Almost everything she likes, she can't afford. But what she's got is solid, traditional, classic, timeless. She'll tell you. Blue is one of her favorite colors, followed by blacks and dark navy blues. Those are things that probably make her look beautiful and alluring and attractive, because each number rules colors, and we'll talk about that one day too. There are so many angles to numerology and what they rule that you would be amazed. That's why I wrote the book. That's why my book has become one of the best all-time sellers in the world. I kid you not. I didn't say it. Somebody else said it. And I'm ranked number 8 with that book you saw, Numbers in You. Okay? So anyway, her lucky numbers are the 8, 6, and 3. That means her best days are always on a Saturday first, Friday, then Thursday. And her best months are always in January, March and May, October, and December. And when she says that and begin to look at the things in her life, she will see that these are probably very significant months for her too. So now let's take this person, her son, Sheena. Her son is born October the 22nd. Now he's a borderline case, okay? It all depends on what time and location he was born. Now, for some people, don't forget, the cusp normally is the 21st, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd. So he could be in the very, very last stages, 29 degrees and a half into Libra, or 1.5 degrees going into Scorpio. But I would say whatever he is, his numbers will still be the 4, 1, and 5. Now, let me tell you about a little of the master numbers right quick. The master number 22 is called the master builder. They're the ones who take concepts and ideas, and I'm going to discuss the master numbers in more depth in future subjects. But they take concepts, and you know how people talk that talk? Well, people born on the 22nd have this unique ability to transpose what they say into numbers, into reality, where things are concrete, where things are tangible and whatnot. So that's it. I see my time is almost up. I don't know how much time before I was disconnected, but I do want to let people know, first of all, thank you very, very much for joining me this evening. And yes, so even though I didn't answer everybody right now, don't worry, I will at some point, okay? Let's see how we do that. Okay. And what I want to do is let you know that what you can do is get my, you can get me on my website. It's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. So for any new people joining, that's LLOYD-Strayhorn, STRAYHORN, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Okay. Then when you get to my website, there's a couple of things you can do. One, I suggest sign up for the free monthly newsletter. There's a partner that I have, Kaya French in Detroit, and you can either go to her website and get the free newsletter, Kaya French, KYAFRENCH.com. Go there and get the newsletter from her, or come to my site, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and get it from me. Then if you want to register for my online course, I have 2. One is called Learn from Lloyd, How to Read a Person Like a Book for Beginners. Then Learn from Lloyd, the next step in numerology, which is for intermediate and advanced. Both these classes was designed by Jackie Levine, the baddest sister with computer knowledge. And by the way, she wrote a book on numerology, her numerology biography, and I'm going to have her as a guest on. And also, she has an online course too on Linktree. But when she's on, you get all that information. The sister is bad. That's how she rolls. But that's all I've been meeting is dynamic people. Anyway, so I'm very blessed. Okay, so sign up for the free, sign up for the free monthly newsletter, that is. But the classes are a fee, but it's well worth it. When you finish the course, you get a certificate of completion, okay? You can also order my books. And I always show my books. So you see, Learn from Lloyd. Oops, let me see. Look, there we go. I got to figure out how this camera works. Everything is in reverse. So there you go. That's one there right there. Learn from Lloyd, how, not Learn from Lloyd, Numbers in You, a numerology guide for everyday living. Then my next book is Lloyd's Numbers in You relationship guide, so you know how to find happiness and joy. Alrighty. And then for those who take the class, this is like the companion book to it too. This is a way of putting it in a synopsis and whatnot. And finally, for those that want to take this to the next level, where when I wrote this years ago, this is an updated this. This has, in fact, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Elijah Muhammad, the United States. It has a whole lot of things that's very, very interesting to help you help yourself. Okay. And before I sign off, I want to say thank you. And as you see, my course is my books are under the top selling books. I'm very proud of the fact that it's ranked among the top 100 numerology books of all times. Okay. And that to me does me proud, and it justifies to me why I've stuck it out. And I think that you owe it to yourself to learn more to numerology. You don't have to be as in depth as me. I just went off the rails with it, okay? Because I didn't know no better. But what I'm saying is, it would serve your interest too. So these are my best selling books, and also I showed you some books the other day by my brother Simon, King Simon, and in fact his books is on one of his books is on the bestseller list of all times too, ranked number 30. Okay, a little bit behind mine. So anyway, I want to thank everybody very, very much. This has been Lloyd Strayhorn until Monday coming, and this has been Learn from Lloyd. No, Live with Lloyd. Excuse me. I'll get all of this soon. Where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. I kid you not. Everybody have a blessed day. Thank you. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Bless you.
I'm unavailable at this time. If you leave me a brief message, I'll get right back to you. Have a good day.
John, Lloyd, sorry I missed your call. I happened to have been on the air with my show when you called, and I could not answer. Sorry about that, buddy. And I'll talk to you later on, okay? Take care. Bye. Do call me back, because I need to ask you a question about the insurance. It shouldn't be long, okay? I promise. Take care. Hey Siri, call Taiwo.
Did you mean Taiwo Ardrey?
Yes.
Home. Calling now. Hello.
Hey Taiwo.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. It said I'm still in live mode. How does that work? Hold on, can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah.
How did I do that? How do you get off here? Okay. I mentioned you this evening on my show that you would probably be one of my tarot readers on there. I took an assumption. I didn't even check with you. But I feel confident that you'll probably do it for me. No?
Look at you.
So how you doing, beautiful lady?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just over here researching some stuff about how to promote some ads and things like that on Instagram. So just doing research.
You have an Instagram page? What is it? Or name? Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the person that runs your page.
It's me.
Oh, it's you? Okay. Mine's is Light Bearer SB.
Who?
Light Bearer SB.
No kidding. How long have I been following you?
You just started following me the other day. More than likely because I tagged you in my post.
Can you, there's a call I've been waiting for. Can I call you right back?
Absolutely. I'm around.
Thanks, hon. Hey, John? John?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, buddy, just quickly, I'm so sorry. You know, when you call, switch over.
Problem. My wife just called me in the room.
Okay.
What happened?
No. When it comes to, is this gentleman going to send me a letter or something to show that I passed it?
No, you're not gonna receive no letter or anything, Lloyd. What you're gonna receive is your certificate. Once they do the class, they're gonna send you a certificate. The certificate is going to prove that you took the course. Then you notify Geico and tell them that you took the course. The date is going to be on it, and they'll give you the discount on your insurance.
Okay, because they want me to pay the money on the 14th.
Who wants you to pay what money?
Geico. This says my insurance is up for renewal on the 14th.
And when you get the certificate that you took the course, you contact them and they'll start your discount for you. You can't get your discount until you complete the course. Your course is in the process right now.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I hear, but I don't quite understand, John.
All right, let me explain it to you so you know. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever took the course before? Have you taken the course before?
Yeah, but I had to sit in the actual physical.
Okay. All right. Now listen to me. I'm doing it without you doing that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm doing? I'm talking in riddles. I'm talking WBLS.
No, I got you.
Come on now. Harlem, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
What you doing?
Loud and clear.
I'm doing what you call the Dr. Bob Lee WBLS bypass. I'm talking to you in codes. I'm speaking to you in codes. Do you understand? Do you understand me now? I don't want to talk like that, but I'm trying to give it to you the best way I can give it to you.
No, you're giving it to me real. You're giving it to me real, so it's no problem.
You're not doing anything. It's all being processed for you because of me, without you doing anything, and then now you just wait. Because you have to just wait. Let them. They have there, but you're not there.
I understand. Got it. I'm with you.
Now, once that's complete, you'll be receiving that in the mail. It takes a minute because they have to complete everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that, you're gonna see it in the mail because they have your license, they have everything. They have all that information, and you pay them. Once that comes, you contact, Geico or whatever.
And then I'll get my discount on the renewal, right?
Well, you do the renewal, and once you do the renewal, that's the price you pay. But once you get your discount, they start giving you the discount for the completion of that. You understand?
Got it.
You have
Okay.
to have that complete first. You can't get the discount if you didn't complete that, and you haven't complete that at this time.
I want to check with you first so I don't get nobody jammed. That's all. That's all I want to do. I want to touch all the bases.
No.
Okay.
That was a favor because I know with the pandemic and all that, I didn't want you to have me,
Yeah. No, that's good looking out. That's good looking out, buddy.
They don't do that, but he knows me. He knows I'm good for it. I told him, they don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know with the pandemic and all that, and you take care of Skip and doing things you got to do. I'm trying to, they don't sell time, but I bought you some time.
Good. When what you gonna do on your birthday next week?
I'm not sure. I take one day at a time,